Welcome to Kin5, where we take 5 minutes out of your day and we teach you some Korean. We might go a little bit long, so you might be ready for like 7 minutes. Here we go. This is basic verb form, part 2 out of 5, and Sonia suggested that I wear this hat. Just for number 2 only, though. So what we're working on is this complete chart right here. This is from section 6.4 of Korean from Zero, which you can get for free on KoreanFromZero.com, or you can buy it on Amazon.com. Here is the chart. We're going to talk about 5 rules. This is the second rule. We're going to look at some new verbs. First, though,
작다.
To be small, or just small. These are called, by the way, descriptive verbs in Korean, but they're really just adjectives. So don't get all freaked out about the word descriptive. It's just a verb that describes, which is an adjective. What is this one?
달다.
Right? And this means to be sweet. Not like sweet, like, oh, that's really, oh, sweet. No, it means like sweet, like in a food.
Yeah.
One more time.
달다.
Yeah, all right.
싸다.
사다, to be cheap. And the opposite of that?
비싸다.
To be expensive. Now let's see what we can do, because remember, in Korean, you don't just say the da form. A lot of books like to use the da form because it's not complicated to show how it works, but it's not how they talk. Koreans will only say this in their head. The da form is like, oh, that's expensive. 비싸다.
비싸다.
비싸다. But you wouldn't say to your friend that, right? You would say
비싸.
비싸요, right? So let's talk about it. With the rule number 2 is, by the way, in the basic form, you always have to know what the final vowel is. And here the final vowel is a. And today we're strictly talking about verbs that have the final vowel with the da removed, okay, of a or o, okay? So sa, sada, without the da, it ends with a. The vowel is a. And you have to overlay this on top of it. That's the rule. Overlay a. But it's the same thing. So nothing changes, right? So sa literally becomes
싸.
nothing changes. So for example, you could say this.
이것은 싸요.
This is cheap. All right? One more time.
이것은 싸요.
All right? What if it's expensive?
비싸요.
Right? Remember, in your head you can say,
비싸다.
right? 비싸다.
비싸다.
비싸다. But to your friend you would say,
비싸요.
perfect. So now let's look at to be sweet, which was,
달다.
all right? And here we are. You would first evaluate it, say 달다 without the da.
달아.
Right? Well, hang on. Drop a little bit faster. 달다 without the da is just
달.
tal. And what vowel is it?
아.
So I'm going to look down my rules. I get right there to number 2. It has an a. And there is a pachim. In the B row it says, is there a pachim? Yes. In that case, you just add an a. So it becomes
달아.
tara. It's sweet. So you could say, for example, this is sweet.
이것은 달아.
Right? What if you're in your head like, oh, this is sweet.
이것은 진짜 달다.
But remember, it doesn't mean like I just said it. It means it's sweet. All right? Like a food sweet.
Food, yeah.
All right, now let's look at to be small.
작다.
Right? Again, you look, what is the final vowel? It's an a. Does it have a pachim? Yes. So you must add,
작아.
you add a to make taga,
taga.
right? So you could say, it's small.
작아요.
작아요, right? Okay, let's look at a little bit more complicated one, because remember, we are overlaying. The difference between adding and overlaying is very significant, so let's look at that. So the verb to come is
오다.
오다. And what you're going to do is, we have a little bit of an explanation like this, where we show you working through the rules, but really, you don't change anything on the o, and you overlay an a. And when you have an o, right, plus an a, what is it?
와.
Wa. So to say come in the basic form is just wa. So for example, you could say this.
빨리 와.
Yeah, your girlfriend might say this. Like you're late, and she might say,
빨리 와.
right, in that little bit of a nasal upset sound.
빨리 와.
Very good. All right. Now, if you want to be polite, you would never ever say that to like your teacher or someone above you in age. You're always going to say that to someone that is equal status or that you are above. But if you're going to say it to someone else,
빨리 오세요.
which is polite, very nice and polite. All right. So let's give another example of this, because it's a very hard to get used to thing, I think, in the beginning. I know it was confusing for me. So the verb to see or to watch is
보다.
보다. Remember, this is a biup, which is normally a B sound, but when it starts a word, it ends up sometimes sounding like a P. Although Koreans don't normally admit this, this is what happens. So let's look at how we conjugate it. So 보다, you look, well, see, what's the final vowel? Well, it's an O, so is there a 받침? No. So I'm just going to overlay and it becomes
봐.
봐. Okay, so example, how would you say, I don't have the example here, how would you say, we'll see you tomorrow?
내일 보자.
Okay, that's
내일 봐.
let's, I'm sorry. Different form. We'll see each other tomorrow.
내일 봐.
내일 봐, or more polite.
내일 봐요.
All right, and here we go, one of the final ones, to be short.
짧다.
짧다. This has a double 지읒, which is a little bit weird, but it's just a stronger sound, and it has a
겹받침.
겹받침, right? Which doesn't change anything. The rule is still the same. You look at the final vowel, which is an a, okay, and you say, well, what do? Does it have a 받침? Yeah, the rules don't change if it has a double or a single 받침. So you add a, and it becomes
짧아요.
짧아요. It's far. And I believe this is the final one. To be narrow.
좁다.
좁다. And this is, I think, the only one that no, this is only one with a 받침 and an O. But the rule does not change. You simply say, it has an O, good. It has a 받침, good. Now I add a, and it becomes
좁아요.
좁아요. There you go. Thank you for watching Korean in 5. If you'd like to learn more, we highly recommend you download our free book, Korean from Zero, from KoreanFromZero.com, or you go get it on Amazon and get the nice print copy to carry around. See you next time. 안녕.
Get busy!